Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, this is Raymond Samuels, and I wanted to do a video on Unix or Linux and explain the difference and explain why they are popular. So what we're going to start off is if you mention Unix or Linux to the average person, most people are going to look at you sideways and not know what you're talking about. So if you want to explain it to someone, you probably want to say, just imagine it's like a Windows PC that you currently have at your house and there's Windows has graphics and so on. Well, Unix and Windows are slightly different. So you'll hear me use words that are interchangeable, and here are the words that are interchangeable: operating system, platform, versions. So you'll see me use those words. So to make it simple, and I know people will debate it, but for right now, just think of there are two forms of platforms. There's your Windows with the pretty pictures and file open and drag and drop. And then you have the Unix side of the house, which is, as you can see, command line, little graphic to no graphics. And it just meant it's meant to just run and process data. Now, ignore the people that want to challenge every little detail. I'm telling you, it's just meant to process data. Another difference between the operating systems are if your Windows box crash, you're pretty much down. But Unix servers are meant to have what they call file systems, and they are meant to withstand a failure and keep up and running while you're trying to repair the box. So it's just meant to run and process data at a faster level. Now, the most popular one out there, or the most easiest one to get your hands on, is called Red Hat. Red Hat Linux. Um, it has a generic flavor called CentOS, CentOS. But if you can get your hands on Red Hat, which each of you do, um, you want to work with that one. Now, they're about 99% similar. One is more of a paid version, other one is like a free version. But I notice most companies use both of them. What I want to do is show you some basic commands. Now, at this point, you should know how to get into your system. And what you're looking at in front of my system, most people call it a terminal. I showed you how to open up your terminal and log in. Um, when you log in, you're going to be at a screen similar to this. I'm going to show you a few commands. They're not going to be in order, but I want you to get familiar with using them. The first command, if you have a lot of stuff on your screen and you want to get rid of it, you just type the word clear. And what that does is clear your screen. So I normally do that a lot when I'm moving around on the system. Now let's start with some basic commands. First of all, you want to identify who you are on the system. So you're on the system, so you type who. Okay, it tells you who you are. Another command similar to that is who am I, spaces in between. Once again, it tells you that. Another thing you want to do is identify the system that you're on right away, because if you make a mistake, you want to make sure you're not on a particular system. So you type the word host name. And as you can see, the host name of this system here. Okay, so now you know who you are, who, and you know the name of the host that you're on, host name. Okay. Now, I'm going to jump around because I want you guys to really kind of understand it. So, if you want to see your resources of this system, just type the word top. See there? It'll show you just some information if you kind of want to see it, but we'll get to that later. So, we're going to do a control C to get out of it. Hold your control down and hit the C to get out of it. And then we're going to go back to the word clear. Okay, that's to show you your resources. Now you want to do, let's see what's in this directory that we in. And let me explain what a directory is. I almost look at Unix like a tree with branches and leaves. That's how it was taught to me. So at the top level of the tree, we call it slash. So CD slash, that takes you to the very top level of the tree. There's nothing else higher than slash. That's the very top level of the tree. Okay, now some of you logged in with your regular user account. Let me get this out the way. You need to switch user, which stands SU, switch user, space dash, and I'll explain the dash in a later class. But you want to switch users over to root. Okay, the reason why you want to do this because root is the the super account. Root is the account that can do everything. And we'll get into your user accounts or your individual accounts, but for now you need to learn with the root account. So you su space dash space root. Okay. Now, sometimes it asks you for the root password, sometimes it don't. But if it was to ask you for the root password, it will be the same password as you had with your user account. So each of you created your VMs. It's that same password you use. And Dominique, I think yours, you remember you and I did it. So remember your password when you logged in. So it's the same thing. Okay, now that we're in the boxes root and how you can tell that you're in root, you see the pound sign next to my cursor. So that's root. So let's just go through a few basic commands. If you're at the highest level, the first thing you probably want to do is create branches. Branches, remember, are the different levels going down. Almost look at it like I say it's a tree. So let's just create some directories. So to create directory, the command is mkdir, make dir. That's how they sound it, make dir, dir. And let's just say test one, and I do a space, test two, test three. There's a space in between each one of them. So I'm saying make dir, make these directory test one, two, and three. Now I hit enter. I do a ls, says list, and you see test towards your right. You see test one, two, and three. Okay. Now to make sure that you're in a directory, you should be able to cd into a directory. Cd is the command change directories. I am root and I want to change directory to test one. Test one. I am in test one. Okay. Now, if I want to back up to the root level, this is how you back up in Unix. CD dot dot back up. Now, if I want to see where I'm at, pwd, as you can see to the far left, I'm at the root directory. Now I should be able to cd into test two. Once again, to find out where I'm at, pwd, I am in test two. Well, root slash test two. Okay. Now to back up again, this is the cd dash dash. That's how you back up. I'm at the root level, print working directory. Okay. Now, since I'm getting quite a bit of stuff on my screen, I'm going to clear my screen. And most of you should know the command about now. CLEAR, clear. Okay. Now, to make a directory again, I'm going to take it slow. MKDIR, make a directory, test 5. Okay. Now, so what you're really doing is making branches off your tree. Okay. Now let's just go into test 5. CD to test 5. Okay, after you make a directory, you probably want to create files in it. And all a file is a name containing information. So we're going to create that name without any information in it, almost like an empty shell. So the command is touch new file. You can name it whatever you want. I just named it new file. Okay. Do I do a ls? And as you can see, I have a new file. Okay. So let me do another one. Touch Raymond. Sounds kind of crazy. So I got another file, ls, called Raymond. Okay, so now we know how to create a file. To remove a file is just rm Raymond. It asks you, do you want to verify to remove it? Yes. I do a ls, Raymond is gone. Let me create it again. Touch Raymond. Okay, the file is there. ls, I want to remove it. Remove Raymond. Okay, boom. Okay, so I showed you how to create files and remove them. Once again, my screen is getting a little hectic, so I'm gonna clear it. Okay, so now we're back at the top. So you learn commands like touch, remove, create directory. Host name, this tells you where you're at, the name of your system, host name. Now you want to look at your network information on your system. So let's just look at the network information. Here's the command, ifconfig-a. Now, you probably don't recognize this, but this just shows you your network information, and I'll get into this later. To your far left, at the top, it shows you your cards in your system. ETH1 is a network card, and if you look here in the middle where you see ADDR 172.22, 128.21, that is the IP address of it. The next block or section where you see to the left L0, and you see the ADDR 127.0.01, that is called the loopback. Translation, that is the card that talks back into the system. So really, well, it's not a card, it's a built-in piece. So really, this box has one physical network card, which is ETHE1, and its IP address is 172.22.128. Once again, I'm going to clear my system. Now, let me just go back over what I showed you earlier. You want to know who you are. Who? You got that. Now, there's another command similar to who am I? Okay, you got that. You want to know the name of your system, host name. You want to know where you're currently located on your system, PWD. I encourage you to type these so you can feel comfortable with them. What most people have problems with is going back and forth through the directories. Okay, so let's PWD, and then we can list out what's in there, how to add a file. Let's add another file, which is touch, new, let's just say 3. Okay, ls. Now let me remove new 3. Now you know how to remove a file. Now let's remove a directory. We have a directory called test5, right? I'm gonna create a directory, then I'm gonna remove it. So I'm gonna make a directory called test6. Okay, ls, I can see the directory test6 is there in blue. Here's how you remove rmdir test6. Okay, and it's gone. Clear my screen, you got it. Now these are some valuable skills to learn because they're gonna help you along the way. Um, what else do I want to show you at the entry level? You got PWD, print working directory. You got LS. You got CD. CD slash takes you all the way back up to the front. Um, you can see what it is. You can create a file, touch file, 3, whatever you want to call it. You can remove a file, file 3. Okay. Now, don't be concerned about what you don't know at this point. You remember I said that Unix is like a tree with branches on it. So if you want to see the full tree, now remember my system that you're looking at now, we kind of been doing Unix work on it. So don't be alarmed or nervous if it looks slightly different from yours, okay? So here's how you do df -h. This is a standard command that you do, and it's the disk usage of this system -h. Okay. So remember I used the word that tree? Well, this is the mecca right here. To the right, you have the slash. As you can see, look at the top and kind of freeze at this page and kind of look at it. And remember I said earlier that this box is built to withstand stuff. This is why you got the different trees, because if I lose one of these to the right, I can withstand my system up and running. And so when you build your Unix box, you allocate disk space to your, oh, my box is at 100% though on var logs. So I'm gonna clean up that. You can ask me questions about it, but this is what a Unix admin do. You see that at 100%. It says available 20 gigs and used 100%. So if I don't fix this, this box will go down. So let me fix it and show you how I do it. Please take notes and ask me questions, and I'll show you how I fix it. var is at 100%. var logs is at 100%. So I go to the file system var log. Okay. Now I'm there. It says it's at 100%. So that means that I have no more room to write stuff in. So I need to get some stuff cleaned up. So ask me about the commands that I'm going to do, but I gotta get this cleaned up. I gotta see which are the largest files on this system. So I do a ls-al. Okay, I have a file called ls, so I want to list out the file called remote. ls-al remote. Let's see. See how big it is? I want to get it out. How you erase a file or clean it up or zero it out or make it small, here's the command. You'll get to know it later. Copy /dev null to the file name, and then this file name is remote. Keep your eyes on the sides of